This chapter is titled Divine and Demoniac Natures. Krishna mentions 26 divine qualities and 6 demoniac qualities. He says that there are two kinds of people in this world, the divine and the demoniac. When we think of someone divine, probably the stereotyped image is of someone who has a halo. Or when we think of someone who is said to be demoniac, we think of someone with horns and Dracula-like teeth or something. But Krishna's definition of the divine and the demoniac is not according to our stereotyped understanding. Anyone who is endowed with divine qualities is a divine person. Anyone endowed with demoniac qualities is a demoniac person, even if that person may externally appear very sophisticated and polished and popular and so on and so forth. So what are these divine qualities? Krishna lists out 26 of them, like, for example, fearlessness, austerity, simplicity, and so on. And the qualities that characterize a demoniac person, like arrogance, pride, harshness, and so on. And then Krishna assures Arjuna that don't worry, Arjuna, you are very much in the divine category. And then Krishna goes on to further explain the demoniac nature. Very incisive analysis. And if you study this, you will actually be able to relate to many things that go on in the world today. And he says the people of demoniac nature, they claim that there is no God and that everything is going along simply because of lust. There is no purpose to anything in creation. And because they are driven by desire to lord it over this nature, to enjoy this world, they perform many horrible activities called Ugra Karma. And they do not worry of the harm that they will cause to others. They are simply possessed by a desire for their own selfish gratification. They simply want to accumulate more and more and more. And they're constantly scheming and planning on how they can do that and how they can eliminate their enemies who come in the path of their gratification. And Krishna then comes up with a conclusion and he says that such people I punish by sending them to the demoniac species of life. They will be born in the lower planets, or they will be born among the lower animal species of life. Then Krishna explains that there are 3 gates to hell. Yes, no doubt, your good poet here, Milton, did say that the mind is a thing in itself, can make a hell out of heaven and a heaven out of hell. That's true. Hell and heaven are states of consciousness, no doubt. But according to our scriptures, they are also physical locations within the universe. So the hellish planets are places where there is intense suffering. The heavenly planets are those where there is experience of some celestial delights. So what are the 3 gates to hell that Krishna speaks about? Lust, greed, and anger. Kama, Krodha, Lobha. And he says everyone who seeks his or her welfare must avoid going through these gates. And one who learns to avoid or tolerate these and not succumb to them can actually transcend the influence of nature, of material nature, and go back to the spiritual world. And then again Krishna concludes by saying that a devotee of the Lord actually, when he surrenders to Krishna, can easily transform all this by developing the divine qualities. Hare Krishna.